I got lots of them. All right, so first and foremost, if you have joined Realty One group since the last team meeting in December, please stand up and introduce yourself. You should start in the back and work forward. No. Just everybody else can start announcing themselves. Welcome in. Brian's next. I did. We're talking about the Pythagorean theorem.
I love it.
Joanna.
Oh, hi. So I'm Joanna. First meeting real estate, so I'm looking forward to meet mine like you.
Welcome in. I have to share a little something about Joanna because never before have I seen someone so excited about starting in this crazy business. And yes, you set my heart aflame by making me love it again. So thank you. I mean, at least for the day. I won't love it by the end of the day, but I love it right now. Did I miss anybody? Yeah, oh, yes.
You're from their office. I'm just fine. I'm gonna be 20 homes around here after this.
She's a mole. She's just checking to see how we work on the west side. All right, my birthday baby's in January. If you were born in the month of January, come on up and get your $1 Starbucks gift card. Because I ran out. So anybody who I'm out of cards. That's a whole dollar. That's a vanilla shot. For those of you that did not get a gift card, send me an email or a text and I will send you one digitally. All right, lots of stuff going on, lots of reminders, lots of information. Okay, so I've totally lied to you at the last meeting. I am not going to set up some group fingerprinting event at the office. And I'm going to tell you why, because it's going to cost you 3 times what it will cost you to just go and do it yourselves. So, and they can only do about 6 people an hour, which is really not conducive to making that go on. All right, so how many of you have already finished this? How many of you are good with your fingerprint clearance cards? Okay, the other 2,000 of you. Go to this link, and yes, I will send this out after the team meeting so you have it. It is very easy to do, but don't get stuck on things like when it asks for your employer. You do not have an employer. That information is not mandatory, so just skip it and move on. The most critical parts to this, non-IVP, Title I, okay, and Department of Real Estate. Those are the 3 things that I need you to remember when you are completing this application. You cannot just go and randomly show up to some UPS store and get your fingerprints done. You have to complete the application and registration process on the DPS site first. They will issue you a reference number. It will be very helpful if you have your previous fingerprint clearance card number available. If you do not have that, look for it. It will help you get through this faster. Once this is all done, the application itself will take you about 10 minutes to complete. Once that is done, you get that reference number. I recommend you can do UPS, you can do FedEx, you can do some of these other locations, but the DPS preferred vendor for fingerprints is Fieldprint. And you will click on a link from the DPS page. It will take you to all of their locations. There is one right here by the Litchfield Post Office. They only charge $8. So get in there, and it's a veteran-owned business, which I'd love to support. So please make sure, get this done first through DPS, complete the application, get your reference number, go to Fieldprint, get it all done. They have appointments every 10 minutes, every single day during business hours. Good? Yes.
I pulled mine out, so I want to see. Mine does not expire until 2027. Am I good till 2027, or do I need to do the process?
So that's an excellent question. You are probably good, but here's how you know. log into the Department of Real Estate, and when you first get onto your page, it will tell you if you have a valid fingerprint clearance card on file or not. So if you're not sure, log into your page and find out. Anybody who's been licensed within the last few years, or if you got a broker's license or something else where you had to get fingerprinted, you are probably fine, but just go to the page to find out. Any questions about this? Okay.
Which needs to be done by?
Well, so that's a moving target. The department has come out and said we want these done there, like now. That the law is already in effect. You should all have your updated fingerprint clearance cards on file. However, they are not preventing you from renewing your license for now, but here is what is going to happen. The second their software, because really this is all we're waiting on, the department software is problematic. The second that is fully functional, they're going to send out a 90-day notice to every licensee in Arizona. Does anybody know how many licensees we have in Arizona? That 86,000. If you all get a 90-day notice at the same time, what is going to happen? Half of you aren't even going to read that you had a notice because you've never updated your email address with the department. The rest of you are all going to be scrambling trying to get this done. So I'm going to tell you now, get ahead of the curve. The cards are good for 6 years, and just get this out of the way so you don't have to worry about it. Yes? No, no. Your DPS registration cost for the actual fingerprint clearance card is $68, and then it's $8 for field print to actually do your prints. Every place else that I've looked at, and if we were going to bring somebody in here, it was going to run you about $175 to do that. Yeah, they're going to be double the cost. Yeah, on average, I'm seeing somewhere between $125 and $175 for those types of events. Yeah, so just go, and then this way you don't have to worry about waiting. You don't have to worry about, you'll have it all done. You'll have it all through your own account. Everything is right there and set for you. And if you have questions, do not call Leah. Call the Department of Real Estate or call DPS. All right, my We Serve, Phoenix Association, Scottsdale Association, whoever you are members, please, I know it is a chunk of change after Christmas. I totally get it. If you have not recently paid somebody $536, you have not paid your We Serve dues. Starting here, I think on Monday or Tuesday, they're going to start with their late fees. So now you're tacking on an additional $60 to that. If this goes until the end of the month, they're going to deactivate you. And then there's a reactivation fee. But before even that can happen, we have to sever your license. Because you must be, unless you are a referral only, or you are on MLS Choice, which is no longer MLS Choice. It's the non-member MLS Access, formerly known as Print. If you are not on one of those, you need to be paying this hefty fee. Otherwise, you are not a realtor and you cannot practice with us. Capiche? I know you're all going to start asking about this, so I'm going to get ahead of it. When your 1099s are ready, and it will probably be towards the end of this month, if not January 31st, you do not need to call me or ask me about it. You do not need to go and check your mailbox. You do not need to call and bother poor Denise and Stephanie about it. I promise. As soon as it's ready, it will be right here in your account on the zone. See? And before you call me about this, it even tells you what your freaking password is to access it. It is either your social security number, or if you are a PC or a PLLC, it is your EIN with no dashes. Capiche? Okay, we're on a roll this morning. I like it. Because you're already spending a shit ton of money this month, I'm going to go ahead and make it worse for you. E&O is due on February 1st. So I know you all just spent $10,000 for Christmas, and now I'm going to make you spend $150. Well, I just saved you $75 with my little tips and tricks for your fingerprint clearance cards. You're welcome. And then you're going to have to pay some ungodly amount, whether you pay it on time or you pay it after the fact, some ungodly amount to We Serve, PAR, SAR, one of those. And then you're going to have $350 due on February 1st for E&O, plus the $50 for the month of February. Please do not call me on February 2nd and ask me, Leah, oh my God, what is this $400 charge on my credit card? Because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up the screenshot of the team meeting, and I'm going to send it to you, and I'm going to let you deduce what that charge was. Capiche?
You know, go up again.
No. Yeah, it's been $350 for a couple of years. Yes.
I just switched credit card. Let's switch that one.
Yes, please. That's an excellent, you know what, that's an excellent question. You get a gold star. If you have recently updated your credit card, especially due to fraud over the holidays, this is also where you can go to update your billing information. Please do so. Otherwise, you get love messages from me about paying your bills. I need more of you to RSVP for this. I literally have my blood, sweat, and tears into this grand opening. And my boss's boss's boss, aka the owner of the company, the founder of Realty One Group, is flying out exclusively for this event. And I need you all to make me look good. 65 RSVPs does not make me look good when I have 524 of you. So please do come. I am putting some wild situations into place for you all, like a champagne diva, because it's not enough to just do a toast. We're gonna make somebody dress up in a black and gold tight dress, Chris volunteered, and walk around with champagne flutes for our actual toast. We also are gonna have a 360 photo booth. If none of you have seen this before, it creates GIF-style videos in 360 dimension to get you from all angles. If you don't like all your angles, turn with it as you go. This is a free event. It will be catered. We will have some wild stuff going on. We will actually have the big black ribbon and the gold scissors for the grand opening. So I have shared it with you. Feel free to invite your clients. Feel free to bring your spouses. I'm not a big fan of kids, but if you must bring them, bring them. Everybody welcome. The more, the better. I'd love to have this entire space crawling with people. I really wouldn't, but I want you all to show up anyway, so thanks. And because I'm really a glutton for punishment, right after planning the big grand opening event, I'm planning the event for our award ceremony. If you close more than 15 units or $5 million in volume in 2025, you will be invited to participate in our very exclusive here awards banquet that we're going to do. But I'm all about like aesthetic boards and mood boards, so I just thought I'd leave some little gold nuggets of what might be happening. I'll let you guess, but plan on showing up. And if you don't know how to do the electric slide, here's fair warning, learn. Learn before this event happens. Jake, I'm ready for you. Do you also want to use this weird little microphone? Okay.
Anybody hear me? I'm pretty loud here. Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Great year, new start, 2026. I think it's going to be amazing. And American Home Shield is continuing with our 20% off for military and first responders. All right, that's 20% discount. Has anybody used the military discount yet on a warranty? How'd it go? Pretty good? See a savings? Shield Complete is over $100 savings off the Shield Complete. So it's a great value add for these. They're continuing. I don't have an end date in sight on these. So we just wanted to continue this on for the first of the year to help out our military and our first responders. Also, we just wanted to bring up about our seller's coverage. If you don't utilize that seller's coverage, you're missing out on a great opportunity. I had 2 calls last week where somebody that had seller's coverage on it actually worked for them because their garage door spring broke right in the middle of a walkthrough. All right, it was covered with American Home Shield home warranty. Without it, it would have been a $600 bill or more. With the warranty, it was only $100 service. That seller's coverage, there is no upfront money due to get this started. All I need is the property address with the zip code, the seller's name, phone number, email, and I automatically enter it. They're covered up to $1,500 for air conditioning, heating, electrical, ductwork, plumbing, and water. If they have this coverage on the property and the home sells, and the buyer chooses a different home warranty company, just let me know. I cancel it. It goes away. They don't owe us anything. So please keep that in mind. Sorry, my shirt is probably tight. I'm nervous. But again, utilize that coverage. All right. Again, if it doesn't sell with the warranty, it just cancels it. It goes away. They don't owe us anything. If it does close with the American Home Shield home warranty, there's a $65 charge added to whatever plan that they want. And that's going to protect both the seller and the buyer for 1 full year. It's also going to help the buyer from any pre-existing conditions that may come up when the buyer moves in, because we had history during the listing coverage where nothing went wrong. So that's a huge benefit. If there was another warranty company, something went wrong, it could be a pre-existing condition that would be covered. So any questions on that, please let me know. And I'm looking for a great year again here for you. So just give me a call, text, or email, and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you.
Thanks, Jake. We do have 2 chairs available at the bar and then one kind of back there, maybe, sort of, if somebody wants a seat. Wait, let me get this. Okay, so Amy and Melissa were not able to join us today, but I wanted to be sure that I covered a couple of things that they wanted to make you aware of. So first and foremost, they are starting home tours in a party bus. So right now, we're doing Verado. If you want to join the next one, which is happening next Tuesday, the deadline to join is the end of the day today, end of business today. And there's only 2 seats left. So reach out to Amy Hollister if you want to get on that tour for next week. And then obviously, if you want to continue doing that, continue to stay in touch with Amy so that you can go ahead and get your listings on. Or if you represent buyers in the area, you just want to see what's out there and what's available in a fun atmosphere, get on it that way. She is also going to have some samples of this and give you some more information, but they have their open house kits. So if you are doing a lot of open houses, definitely reach out to Amy and ask her about these, because they are including quite a few things in here, as you can see by that checklist. So I think these will be really helpful for helping you stand out when you are doing open houses. That way, if they stop by 6 or 7 that day, boom, you're the one that has the best package. It's all about the package. I like my women in the front seats here that are like, yep, sure is. On that note, Tony, come on up. Tell us about your package.
I was getting nervous already. I was like, I'm palpitating. Even whenever I come up, as often as I've done this, it's still really good. Okay. So I started off with just 3 aspects or a couple of things that have happened over the last couple of days. By the way, my name's Tony.
Hi, Tony.
I've been lending, I've been financing dreams for almost 24 years. In a couple of months, it'll be 24 years. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when we get to this next one. But I had a client last week that I was going to get pre-qualified, pre-approved. I did, but she instantly pushed back on, why do I have to give you my bank statements? Why do I have to give you my pay stubs? Why do I have to give you anything except my social security number and my pulse? Okay, so I sent her a copy of the pre-qual form, and I circled those check boxes. And I said, the likelihood of your offer being accepted with these check boxes not done is going to be nil. Okay? So at that point, I got it. So that's part of what happened, but I've also experienced people coming back saying that, you know, the pre-quals aren't actually that good, what's going on. I thought that was over years ago, but I guess it's still happening. So I would suggest, even though the boxes are checked, contact the loan officer, verify. But really, who do you verify? Or should you verify with? Your client. Did you send these to this buyer, to this loan officer? Then you know for sure that it actually happened. Okay, so that's a suggestion there. The next one is misusing seller concessions. I have a little cheat sheet that I didn't print out, but I should have. I did a transaction last week. I'm working on a transaction where the misnomer is that with conventional loans, you have only 3% that you can get from your seller. That's it. And that's not true. Okay. If somebody puts less than 5% down, they can only get 3%. But if they put 10 to 25%, they can get 6% on a conventional loan. And if they put over 25%, they can get up to 9%. Good luck getting that. But they get up to 9% on that. But it's all about the down payment and the loan to value, the LTV, and that helps you. And then honestly, you know, they ask for concessions for closing costs, but once a good loan officer gets it, they look at both aspects of it. Because what's better for the client, paying off the closing costs, or maybe buying down their interest rate permanently to save them more money? If they have the wherewithal that they can do that, then that might be a more beneficial way to use that concession for them and help them better. Payment, shot, and cash to close. Obviously, when we send out a pre-qualification, there is a payment there. And the buyer should know what that is. There's a principal and interest payment, and then there is a total payment of everything, including the HOA. So you guys can figure that out too, because you got principal and interest, and then you have your taxes, insurance, and everything else on there. Oh, I'm over that amount. Let's call Tony. Okay, that's one thing. But what I've seen is people not knowing their actual cash flows. Okay, not knowing actually, and then they have shock. They're like, "What do you mean? I got to come up with $28,000? You know, I just had a down payment. That's all I had to do." So that's something that needs to be addressed, and ensuring that your clients, wherever they're coming from, are aware of that, because that mitigates any issues down the road, and it increases your trust. You know, the trust that they have in you. Any questions? I am now Buffini certified. So just to give you a little background, I've been in sales since 1983, and I've raised a family of 6 on 100% commission since then. Okay, I have my only 9-to-5 job with the Army. Yeah, I try to get more commissions than that. So it can be done, you know. But what I've learned is you got to make an investment into yourself. Okay, you have to grow and consistently grow. Even though I'm not as young as I used to be, I know we're still growing. You know, I'm out there walking every day. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening right now. I started again Think and Grow Rich on an audiobook. That's the most fabulous thing. I mean, it pulls things out into you again. So starting in January 29th, I had to find a space where we could meet. We're going to start the 100 Days to Greatness. That's 14 weeks, 1.5 to 2 hours a week that we're going to sit together and go through an entire plan, okay? And if you work the plan and you work the system, Buffini's statistics state that you will end that 14 weeks with approximately, on average, 7 transactions and about $75,000 in it. But you got to work it. And I'm excited because I'm going to do it with you. Not only am I going to be the mentor and your guide, but I'm also going to do it with you because it'll help me. You know, because I'm going to grow too. So this is going to be starting then, and I know that we got a lot of money going out everywhere. But Realty One Group was able to get a discount on this. It's $395, and I don't get paid, but it goes to your entire package. Everything that you need to implement and to do is in that package. Consider joining us. I haven't got, this is not a real QR code. I'm still working on some logistics, but once that goes out, we're going to send it out and invite you and whoever it is. Right now, I got a space over at Rock Title in Litchfield and Goodyear that we can use. The conference room has about 12 spaces. We can use the open area if we grow even farther than that. And then if we grow bigger than that, there's always a library. They've got a big old space, and I have a library card specifically for that. Because you can rent the space with your library card. So, you know, I encourage you guys to consider investing in yourselves. I do it every year. I do it constantly. In fact, I'm going to a conference February 2nd to Houston. Somebody said, "Well, what do you get out of it?" I got nothing out of it. I said, "I got a thing. I got one." But that one was good enough for me. Because it also, there's a speaker that says, you know, how often should you shower? Yeah, it's like, you know, every day. So you get motivation one moment, then you got to keep getting it again. You know, it's like, I listen to your cassettes. I was going to say cassettes. I listen to your cassettes, but, you know, listen over and over and over. And that's why I do this podcast. So I invite you all to consider this, and we will be sending out more information.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. When we want to speak next to you, raise your hand. We don't want to. We might have to just start wheeling some chairs out. It's fine. Brian, get off your chair and give it to somebody else. I just want to emphasize a couple of other things that Tony said. So, as opposed to some mentors who leave this group, and that $395 is payable directly to Buffini. Okay, this isn't some money maker for Realty One Group. It's definitely not for Tony. God love him. He is personally investing his time absolutely free for all of you to be able to take advantage of this program. So definitely something to consider. I was being a total bitch, but I appreciate you. If somebody really wants the hot seat, here you go. Excellent. For those at home who maybe didn't hear that, it's a shout out to Rock and their app for their mortgage calculators, as far as getting it as accurate as possible for your clients. We might need a lot more chairs, actually. Our next book club is going to be on February 10th, right here at 10 a.m. And we are doing This Is Marketing with Seth Godin. How many of you have read his books before? They're fabulous. He's one of like the foremost leaders when it comes to sales techniques, especially. So it'll be a good one. Read it and prepare to meet us. And now, I did this so I didn't forget. Get ready to smile, wave, stick your fingers up in the air, whatever you're gonna do. You don't need to know. I'm just gonna randomly take a video of you all. Oh, good. Okay, you ready? Let's make some noise. And I added on Bob, or ended on Bob. You're so welcome. Normally I wouldn't do that, but you're a special one. We are making progress. All right, Queen of Hearts, we've got some astronomical amount today. 100, oh wait, we got more. We have two. $5 in a business card, $5 in a business card, last call. You got two business cards? Or do you want $5 back? No pressure. Hold up.
What do I do? Thank you. I'm like, really?
That's good.
All right, here we go. Let's see. We have now $140. No, 135. Math is not my strong suit. I was an English major. 135 for the person who draw, and then a chance to draw the queen for whatever 880 plus $135. All right, who does not have? Nope, we're done calling. Are you using all 20?
No.
We need another player then.
Oh.
You want to?
Take two.
It doesn't matter, yeah.
She's right there. I'll do. Okay.
So,
Right, no, you're good. Throw that in there.
this is in mine, so I was gonna turn a little bit so I can distinguish from.
It's like folding.
12, Mom. She's got this.
Yeah, I did a little scratch, so I'll let that.
Okay, so we'll know that one is yours.
Okay.
Who's actually on it? It's Miguel's.
Miguel,
Okay,
yeah.
it's Miguel's with your head has now been completely destroyed. Yes. Claudia's gonna give her card. Claudia's gonna give her $5. We're gonna give her $10. I don't even know what the hell we're at right now. All right. One party. Oh my God, look at all of these. All right. Again, who does not have a card in here? Somebody close by. Come on up. Heather, you want to come on up and draw for me? Oh my God, who has metal in here?
The one that put 100 in.
Ooh, we got ballers up in this game. All right. What we got? Jackie? I like it. All right, $140 for you and see you draw the queen. How lucky are you feeling today?
Anyway.
You want to die for this today? The first card that you just looked it up out of there took your thumb on was a queen. And I'll be shuffling those next time for those of you who think you've got a system going. $140, not a bad haul today. Congratulations. All right, let's get into some fun broker stuff. Okay, so this scenario became far more complicated than how it started, but I still think it's a good scenario to share. So close of escrow was scheduled for Monday, the 12th of January. But I know some of us are already laughing because we know exactly what this is. Buyer was cured on Friday, 1/9, for failure to have loan docs at title. Buyer signed the CD and had final loan approval without PTD conditions on Monday, 1/12. Seller said they were still canceling since loan docs were not at title. Buyer said they complied with the contract requirements per Section 2B, and therefore the cure has been remedied. Now what? Just to make this even better, The sellers on this originally had to come in with about $11,000. That was a sticker shock because they weren't aware, because their realtor who is related to them helped them load their U-Haul knowing that they were going to have to come to closing with money and didn't want to tell them. Just to make this more exciting. So let's start with a couple of the things. Failure to have loan docs at title. Do not ever cure for that. Why not?
Yeah, I got cured of that one time, that RV.
And it's nonsense.
It's not a cure, it's not a contract. That's what I told her.
And I won't say it's not in the contract because it's an or. You can do this or this or this. But the problem in this case was, no, we didn't have loan docs at title, but we didn't have to because Section 2B says, or have acknowledged the CD and have loan approval without PTD conditions. We met that. It was satisfied. The seller still wants to cancel. Now they're like, but you didn't close on time. Well, no, but when do we have to close?
3 days after the CD.
3 days after they cure us for failure to close.
They couldn't cure you. Well, they can in theory cure you late in the day on Monday.
No, they can't cure us until Tuesday.
But how can you, like, let's say at like 6 p.m., how can you close?
I'm aware of this, and believe me, I have fought this battle with AAR so many times, and every time I'm getting slapped back. Our contract says they have until 11:59 p.m. It doesn't matter if they can't actually do it.
So then
It's
Tuesday,
bullshit.
So then Tuesday they can cure for failure to close.
Which gives us until when?
Gives you until
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. They didn't cure us for failure to close. They still think they're canceling. Again, an agent who is helping you load your U-Haul while not telling you, by the way, you have to come to closing with $11,000 is probably not the agent you want working for you. But what I want you all to be aware of specifically is how muddy this could potentially get. So they issued a timely cure, but it was potentially invalid, or it wasn't written the way I would have written it. If you do not have loan approval without PTD conditions, and the buyer has not signed the CD yet or acknowledged the CD, it doesn't even require signature, it requires acknowledgement. You should be curing for failure to comply with Section 2B. So they can do anything to remedy that cure if it falls under Section 2B. Then, after, if that is met, which it was by the end of the cure period, they then had to cure us again for failure to close. This one is closing. It is closing today, and everybody is bringing a little money to the table to help make it work. However, the other agent is still in denial about all of this and has nothing to do with it. All of the other parties came to the table to make it happen. So know your timelines, know what the actual components of the contract says so that you are curing accordingly. Because I am seeing a lot of what I would consider invalid cures, meaning they are not phrased correctly, or it's something you can't actually cure for. They were ready to cure us for failure to close. And we're like, you can't cure us for failure to close. It's not the closing date yet. You can't preemptively cure us for failure to close. We haven't had the opportunity to close yet. So just be aware. Questions?
Should he pretty much always cure with failure to comply with S section of the contract?
I mean, that would be my ideal situation. Some of these cure notices, and I've had some of you ask me, can I write this? And you proceed to send me what is roughly a novel. No, you don't need the background story. You don't need to specify what will happen if. You don't need to give other alternative measures in the cure notice. It simply needs to state failure to comply with this provision, this clause, this section of the contract, period. Do not muddy the waters by creating what could be an invalid cure. This is more a question of strategy. I know what the contract says. Some of you may not, but that's not really what I'm asking. I'll start with that. The contract says that you provide a copy of all inspection reports. If you have the buyer, you provide a copy of all inspection reports to the seller. When? Immediately upon receipt. Immediately upon receipt. You get a copy of the inspection report, you forward that over to the buyer side of the transaction. But I'm getting some very weird situations. Myrna.
Yes, I'm not concerned about that because some listing of some people say they don't have to send it to the seller. because the buyer buys.
Incorrect. So point them to the part of the contract that says, no, you have to provide this immediately upon receipt. I think it's line 226-ish. It's gonna be in your due diligence section clause of the contract in 6A. Absolutely not. No permission. They gave you permission. They signed the contract.
Some inspector, they need the permission, the buyer to send it, you know.
So let's separate this out. It is not the inspector sending it to the listing agent. It is the buyer's agent.
Yeah, I know that the inspector, they need to find the buyer, what document they approve to send to me. I don't know why, but they say, if they don't have a permission for the buyer, they can say.
I agree. Probably don't use that inspector, but I think that's an easy enough resolution. Just go ahead and CC your buyer on an email to the inspector that says, hey, we give permission to release this to our agent. I think that part's easy enough. This is definitely more the other side where you're getting some pushback. And it's really more about when do you send your inspection report over to the listing agents and seller? For those of you who are like immediately upon receipt, yes. For those of you who are holding it, or if you've had situations of agents holding it, why? Do you think you're somehow losing leverage for your buyer by sending that over? I would say the total opposite for two reasons. Even if my buyers are canceling, I'm going to send that sucker over right away. Why? Because I potentially just screwed the seller. Because now they have to disclose to the next buyer anything that is material that is found in that report.
There you go.
So why would I hold that? Now, on the listing side, I don't think I'd want to push for this or cure for it because any plausible deniability or lack of disclosure that may have otherwise been found in that, ultimately, if we don't have it, we don't know. So as the listing agent, if they cancel, I'm probably not going to say, hey, you need to send me that inspection report. Some of you will talk to your sellers because some of the sellers are going to be good about this. They say, we actually want to know because if there's something legitimately wrong, we want to be able to fix it. And we potentially want to share this with future buyers to help protect us down the road. But this is a conversation to have with your sellers on that side of it. Really, I'm just trying to understand why buyer's agents are withholding inspection reports. Why? Whether you're proceeding or whether you're not, why would you hold that back? That's weird. Send it over to the sellers. Even if they are going to proceed, the buyers are going to proceed because you'll have some sellers who start fixing shit that they don't even need to because they have so much pride in their home. And then by the time you actually ask for something or they see 78 items and then your buyer only asks for 6, they're going to think you're amazing. Again, I think the strategy is on this side. Send it over right away.
Also just gives them a chance to calm down.
Yes,
They have a couple-
agreed.
They have a couple days to be like, okay, this is not.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Okay, we're good with it. Yes, we have a question.
Oh, actually, on the report is incorrect.
What if the information on the report is incorrect? Well, you better have somebody of higher level understanding of that situation be the one to make that claim, not you, the agent, or even the seller. So ultimately, let's say that they're claiming something is wrong with the roof. If there is nothing wrong with the roof, I would get a statement from a roofer that says there is nothing wrong with the roof. Not the easiest route, but that's the best you got. Is anybody in here on Lab Coat Agents on Facebook? Okay, if you are not, I want you to write this down right now. Lab Coat Agents, like a medical lab coat. Tristan Agamada is one of my favorite people when it comes to soliciting incredibly beneficial information about lead generation. And he does this out of the kindness of his heart. He is a multi-million-dollar top producer who just shares what he's doing. He's very, very tech savvy. So a lot of what he discusses is going to be tech-based, but please follow him. Forget all the other nonsense forums and masterminds and all of these bots that are entering the chat and trying to get information from you. Some of the things he shared. So he's discussing some AI that he thought would be most beneficial for 2026. Realestatecontent.ai. This AI writes SEO optimized blog posts. Okay, so they already know what meta tags and keywords and everything else to put into this post for you. Generates social captions and creates market updates. Boom, done for you. So if you're wondering what you should be posting on your socials when it comes to work stuff, this is a good place to go. Not all of these are free, just a heads up. So you'll need to investigate that. Your one app, this isn't from him. He actually recommended Real Scout. However, Real Scout's $150 a month. Your one app is free. Your one app does what Real Scout does. It uses AI to see viewer preferences and starts reprioritizing the properties they see based on how long are they looking at certain properties. What are key similarities between those properties? You can see all of the metrics on the back end of your app so you know who's looking at what and when. And again, this is all in your one suite. This is not something special that you have to pay for or do. It's all included. How many of you have your one app downloaded and already share it? Got a few of you who need to catch up.
Just one thing on that real quick, Real Scout's actually only $59 a month.
Oh, you got a deal.
And it is the best home search tool out there, period. Home valuation, it's fantastic.
How long have you been with Real Scout?
Maybe a year and a half.
Check on the pricing.
Oh, yeah, maybe they changed pricing. Sure. Yeah.
All right.
There was a discount. Oh, but when I did that, there was a discount for Realty One Group.
Okay, so first and foremost, email helpdesk@Realty One Group. If you want to do Real Scout as opposed to the one app, go to helpdesk@realtyonegroup.com and ask if there is a discount code for Real Scout.
I think you'd have to go through Real Scout, or you go to Real Scout now. I think.
Let them know. Let them know you're with us.
Look into it. Yeah.
All right, rejig.ai. Scan the web for hyper-local news, market trends, and lifestyle content in your farm area. Then it will draft branded posts, write captions, and schedule it all for you. Again, a very cool tool to use. And learnmore.com. Some of you are going to love this one. Upload your documents, your contract documents, and this will provide layman's term meaning for every clause. So it will break it down to a 6th grade reading level in a real summary format that you can share with your clients. Even if I'm not saying do this and just hand them the printout. This may be a good idea for you to go ahead and start memorizing some of those clauses. So as you're going through the contract documents with your clients, you have a better sense of what it is that you're telling them. And you're making it easier to understand. At our most recent book club, we talked about that. We say things that don't make sense to our clients. We use acronyms. And phrases that don't serve. They don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Somebody in the chat.
As for what?
The name of the agent we mentioned.
Oh, Tristan Ahumada is the name, but go to Facebook and look for Lab Coat Agents. All right, Tristan also shared this, and I'm all about habits. 5 daily ones. The 5, text or call 5 people you haven't spoken to in the last 60 days. No pitch, okay? You're not asking for referrals. You're not reminding them that you're in real estate. This is all about making a connection. The 1, send 1 handwritten note to someone you spoke to yesterday or today. Someone who inspired you or someone who you want to thank. The other 1, meet 1 new person every single day, online, by phone, or in person. This will expand your circle by 365 people per year. And some recommendations for doing this, he says, join a club, door knock, host an open house, or friend friends, meaning you are friending friends of your friends on Facebook. The last one, post 1 thoughtful or engaging piece of content, hit your target audience, then respond. This is critical for those of you who understand how algorithms work. Respond to every single comment. Okay, not just react to it, respond to it. The more engaged you are, the more improved your algorithm becomes. Okay, that's what's the critical part about that. And then the 20, spend 20 minutes daily engaging with people on your social platforms. Not scrolling, not getting lost in the void, not arguing about whatever nonsense is happening in the world. Comment, start conversations, and provide value. We're all good with our habits. This should take you no more than an hour to do every single morning. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for. I warned you that I was going to share examples of posts, comments, whatever is going on out there, signs that are in violation. So I want to make one thing super clear, okay? The brokerage name on your advertising is not a new rule. What is new is that they have added a couple of nuances that are specific to social media. And this particular, who I love, commissioner and deputy commissioner, went through and tried to better explain what this meant. They've provided better examples. They've provided additional clarification. So a reminder of R428502. This is also partially code of ethics for this one. This I have not seen on any posts, and it worries me because I don't know that the properties that you all are marketing are actually your own listings. If they are not your own listings and you are marketing on social media, whether it's video or it's photos or it's text, you must include some sort of clause like the following. This is not my listing, nor is it representative of my transactions. Listing is courtesy of ABC Realty and John Doe. The first half of that is ADRE. The second half of that is the Code of Ethics. You have to make sure you're disclosing who the actual listing brokerage is, but you also must disclose that this is not representative of your transactions. That was one of the changes with the advertising policies.
What happens with the construction?
I'm sorry, what happens with
With
that?
that new construction, so we need signage after.
Yeah, so if it's new construction, you still have to do the first part of this, but you don't have to do the second part of that because it's not a brokerage listing, it's a new build listing. So with that, if it's under construction or if you're promoting something from a builder, you still have to indicate that this is not your listing, nor is it representative of your transactions. That part stays.
I was gonna say, it could be any MLS with the brokerage.
So even in that case, based on what I'm being told, they're okay. Just so you all know, I actually called the deputy commissioner with a list of questions. The poor thing had to deal with me on a Friday afternoon because I said, I want some clarification. Tell me what yours, the department's stance is on this. And that one's in the clear. Now, a little exception to this. If you are sending subscriptions through the MLS, you don't have to include any of this language anywhere. If you have, and this was a question last time, so I want to clarify, if you have an MLS IDX-based search on your personal website, you do not need to include this verbiage. So those two things are exempt. If you are sharing an MLS link to a listing that is not yours on your social media page, you have to have this disclosure. That is the difference for now. Are we good with that so far?
You also need permission.
Yes, you need permission. So first we have the ADRE part, which is this compliance little lingo that we need. Then we have the Code of Ethics, which is you have to disclose where it's coming from. And then you have the armless rules that say, yes, you also need permission to share somebody else's listing. Again, not with IDX and not with subscription, but if you're sharing just an actual like photo or you're doing a video tour of somebody else's property, you need to have their permission. It says written. Yeah, it says written permission. Text message would be okay. Email would be better.
Also,
Yep. Hey, I'd like to market this property on my social media channels. Cool. Yep. Perfect.
And there's
Please
no
reply with a thumb up.
us giving that permission. Everything's on them at that, to follow the ADR rules and all that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yep. So it's the brokerage and the subscriber because the listing is owned by the broker, but then you have to have the armless rule, which comes in and says the subscriber. Kelly? Nope, you still do. Yeah, per armless rules, you still have to have written permission from the agent to share their listing. Yeah, that's at the subscriber level. That's beyond broker level. Do I see another hand up in the back? No, you're just recording me. Okay, cool. All right. All advertising using an electronic medium must comply with all requirements. Big one, without the need to scroll. What does that mean on social media platforms? Gotta be the first line. I mean, honestly, guys, it's gotta be the first line. So Realty One Group needs to be the first thing they see. And I'll give you some examples of how to do that as easily as possible. If they have to click on see more, it's a violation. ... It's a violation. Brokerage name on advertising must be clearly and prominently displayed, and your name must be there too. So God love you. Some of you have been so good about this. You're posting Realty One Group, but you're using some sort of name or handle that is not your name. So I want you to think of it this way. They have to be able to find you on the Department of Real Estate website. The way to do that is your name and the brokerage name. So if you are missing either of those two components, you are in violation for your advertising. Again, these are not new rules. We're just reminding you that they exist. I especially am finding some of this with teams. So you are operating off of a team name, but you don't actually have the individual agent name. Now, the agent name can be a scroll down situation. So if your team name is your marketing name or your handle, and then you've got Realty One Group right at the top, and then you go in through your little description of the property, and then it has your name and your contact information at the bottom, that's totally fine. That is okay. The brokerage name at the top is the requirement. I just want to make sure that we're kind of keeping this all wherever it needs to go. For those of you who procrastinate, none of you, I know, the limit to 9 CE credit hours a day has been lifted. So you could stand up for 24 hours and complete all 24 hours of your continuing education the day before you need to renew if you are one of those people. I'm going to give you a little tip, just a little tip. Don't do this. If you took 1 CE class a month for 8 months, you would be done for your entire renewal period. Why? Why do so many of you wait? I'm sending out 5,000 reminders the week before the end of the month for everybody who's expiring. Don't be that person.
Back to social media really quick.
Yes.
I post a lot. There's a lot of other agents out there, a lot of younger ones, so the brokerages are doing this. So how do we submit a complaint for them so everyone's getting on board? Because
so I'm going to talk about this a little bit more.
Obviously, it's affecting the way I look or to that.
So first things first,
We do no business.
make sure you're in compliance first and foremost before you start ratting out anybody else. The second part to this, be cautious, okay? Because we are the biggest, most productive brokerage on the entire West Side. So with that in mind, you have a target on your back. Meaning, try to play nicely in the sandbox, or it's going to come back and bite you in the ass. That being said, I wouldn't report somebody automatically. I would let them know, and I've been doing this. Several of you have received it. People that I just have relationships with that are not here at Realty One Group, I've been sending them a copy of the post I saw. Let them know, hey, not sure if you're aware, but some updates have been made to our advertising policies, and this is in violation. So you might want to check with your broker just so that you can get guidance on how to proceed herein. Now, if 2 months down the road, I'm still seeing every single week a violation, then yes, you have the option to report that. You will report that through the Department of Real Estate website. I will tell you right now, I, as a broker, will not be reporting this. And I will not do that because I'm telling you right now, it will screw the rest of you. If I start filing complaints against all of these other people, it is going to become a retaliatory thing. So if you see it, you report it, because these are not anonymous complaints. They have to see who it's coming from. But have an example. And like I said, we're all learning, right? This is kind of a curve for all of us. So be gracious. I don't want people to take advantage of it. I want all of us to learn together. So I always recommend reach out first, seek first to understand, try to explain, let them know. And then if it still is a problem, then it's next level. And honestly, even that next level might come to me first. I'll reach out to their broker about it before you go to the department to complain. Yeah.
Do we need to go back on our social media and repair
No.
anything?
No. This day forward, exactly. This is what we're looking out for. Yep. Another thing that, agent going on vacation. This is now a law. You must notify your broker and you must have backup in place. So even if you do not currently have a client that you are working with, if you are having an agent who's going to take over for you, your voicemail and your email responder probably says, hey, I'm on vacation. This is the person to reach out to in my absence.
So
Yeah.
if you're not having time, you're still gonna work on your vacation.
Then you're fine. Yeah, and I think that that's the big thing. If you're going to be, and I think, I'm gonna say this and then I may have to correct myself. If you are going to be inaccessible for more than 24 hours, this law applies. So even if you're going in for like surgery, and you wouldn't be available to help somebody, you'd want to have backup in that case. Lastly, I don't know that this affects all of you or even a few of you, but I want you to be aware. You are prohibited from marketing as a PC or a PLLC. Prohibited. So I have seen things come through where your PLLC is actually listed on the contract. That is a violation. You are not operating as a PLLC. Your PLLC or your PC is exclusively for payment and tax purposes. It should not appear on anything that you are doing related to real estate. All right, so let's do the fun stuff. I told you I wasn't removing names. You all are so very welcome, unless you are a good little doobie. I only took people who are not with Realty One Group. But there were many of you that I've contacted over the last couple of weeks. All right, so let's kind of look at this. So the first one, these are just people on my feed. I had to keep their names up there because their names might be compliant. So if Celeste, for example, I don't know who she's with, but if her name actually had like a dash or a comma, and let's just say EXP, she would have been compliant. So this is why I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. But based on this, is this post okay?
No.
Why not?
We don't see the brokerage.
Yep, no idea. I don't even know if you click on, in some of these, they're even worse. Because in some cases, you click on see more, the brokerage name still isn't there. So that's a bigger issue. She had so many choices here. You could have just put little stars and Realty One Group at the top. You can change your name to have Realty One Group be part of that. You could geotag Realty One Group in this. I'm using Realty One Group because it's us. She's not with us. Or you could have Realty One Group. She did sold, for crying out loud. If you can do this, you can type Realty One Group right here at the bottom of the photo. It doesn't even have to be on every photo. It just has to be visible without scrolling. So that would have been a solution. Okay, what about this one? Agnes. Is Agnes here? She was one of the first people I saw who actually did this in full compliance. So God love her. Good Agnes. Cheers. Exactly. All right. Oh, Kesley. I need to let Kesley know that she's got issues. And there's more than one in here. Is this compliant?
Yeah.
Okay. What I have heard from some people is it's only if you're advertising a property. That is incorrect. Any services, brokerage or real estate related services, that is a can of worms, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So what I asked Mandy, because I will go through some examples, is what would that look like? She said, you talk about real estate. Talk about anything tied to real estate. You use any hashtags with real estate or realtor in them. Guess what? That's a real estate post. And it's going to fall under these parameters.
Is that the same for any service or?
No, this is an ADRE thing. So there's one other problem with this that many of you may not be aware of. I want you to look at the name, Your Local AZ Realtors.
Yeah.
Does anybody know the problem with that?
Yes.
Who's recently joined WeServe and had to take the class about compliant use of the trademark realtor?
Oh, yeah.
The only thing, I don't freaking know.
It's one of your local realtors.
You cannot use descriptors on either side of the word realtor or realtors. It can only be your name. So local AZ Realtors is a violation of NAR. I'm not reporting anyone. I am not going after this. I personally think it's stupid. You're paying $536 a year to use the word realtor in your marketing. We should be able to do whatever we want with it. That's my own soapbox, but at the end of the day, I have had agents who have received cease and desist notices from the National Association of Realtors, especially if your URL for your website is like Arizona Golf Real Estate, or I'm sorry, Arizona Golf Realtor. That's a violation. Only your name can be with the word realtor.
And you can't put your name after, right?
It can be after. That could be like Realtor Kim. That's fine.
What if that's a group?
But if
Yeah,
it's
I think it's.
Like if that's a name of a Facebook group, can you not use?
no, the Facebook groups are a violation. So I wouldn't use it. I get what you're saying. So he's saying they actually tag the Facebook group in this, and the Facebook group is incorrectly
I
answered.
mean, it's not, it's not like you're saying number one realtor, or anything like that, you're just saying it's local, there's a realtor.
So I have a suspicion that this is actually their team page name, and it is in violation. All right.
That's, so you can't create a group named realtor.
You shouldn't be. Nope, not that has a descriptor. Hold on, we got it.
So with going into that one where,
It's a.
if it said is with the realtor, if the realtor right there, then that would be right.
Correct.
Not.
Correct. Yep, exactly. Yeah. It has to be the name, so I'm actually gonna get to that because that's where I'm seeing a lot of you are out of compliance. Our circle icon is not the brokerage name. So if you are only using the one icon, you are not in compliance.
So when it comes to a video like that, where they have a video of the house and like the background, since it's not actually advertising this property, do we have to put the listing, like this is my listing, it's listed by this company agent?
So potentially, if you're doing something like this where the focus is actually more on something else, no. If you are marketing the property itself, yes. That's a great question. I hadn't even thought about that. So she's saying, hey, in this case, they're not actually marketing this property for sale. They're marketing information or services. So if this video came from another brokerage or another listing, would she have to make all of those disclosures? No, because we're not marketing the property itself.
But this one, and now obviously you should only be posting your own sold property.
Correct. So in this one, she's okay in that regard because these were sold by her. And after closing, you cannot use somebody else's photos without their permission. But if you represented a client in that transaction, you can do after it closes. Yep. While it's still pending or you just put an offer in on it, then you've got to make all those disclosures.
And the realtor problem, the problem with the word realtors, you can be real estate agents.
Correct. Yeah, you can do anything with real estate or real estate agents. All right. Next up, Germany. In compliance or not? Yeah, I'm going to agree. I'm going to agree, and so does the Department of Real Estate. Is with Keller Williams Realty Scottsdale and KW Young Professionals. So that very first one is the brokerage name. She's good. Jessica. Why?
Her name and their brokerage is down below.
So the graphic itself has Realty Munger on it. She's fine. Did you have to scroll? No, you didn't have to click on see more, so she's fine.
Cheers.
All right, Melissa. No brokerage, violation. And
No brokerage.
and we have another Verado Realtor error situation. Do we have a personal vendetta situation going on up here? Okay, just checking. So this is the same one. So this is some of the pushback that ADRE had kind of received. But I'm not marketing a property. Okay, but again, are you telling me this isn't related to you doing real estate business? Come off it. It absolutely is. Yep.
That's not, you can't do that.
We got problems. We got problems. Tammy. Are we good?
Yeah.
That's good.
So she was able to incorporate her team name plus the brokerage name all in one graphic without having to scroll. Compliant. She's good. Katie, this is the video. I possibly caught her at the most unflattering time possible, but it is what it is. Well, and this is extra rough, right? Because I told you there are some examples. This is the full post. Who the hell does she work for? No idea. No idea. So yeah, whoever she works for should have either been down here, up here, or it should have been in the original. Again, she could geotag it, or she could go ahead and have that right up at the top. All right, a few more. Nicole. Is she? Who does she work for?
We don't know. It's a real.
So.
Well, and then she's dragging whoever Amanda Albert is, she's dragging her down with her here, because she tagged her in the post and we don't know who they work for. All right, Allison. Allison's good. Allison's good. She's got her brokerage right here in the center of it. That works. Yeah.
Or you can include all of these examples with our accounts.
Yes. Look at the whole slideshow so you can see them. Yeah. Yeah. Monique, and God, I love Monique. Okay, so this is one of the tough ones again, because she's not really outwardly saying anything about services. Okay, she's not marketing the property itself. But here's where it becomes a little questionable. She references supporting her business.
Yeah.
And in doing so, I think inherently, why are we posting this if it's not legitimately to try to build our business more, right? So these are the ones that I think are going to be kind of the little sneakers that come in that we have to be cautious about. So yeah, she should have put her brokerage on that.
Are your posts scrutinized more because of your realtor?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of you are going to have targets on your back. So especially if you are high producing and in certain niche communities where you've got competition that hates you, absolutely, I would be extra cautious. And some of you know who you are because you reached out. You're like, oh shit, I got to get new signs. I got to do this. Yeah, you might. What was that? What was that?
I know that you have to say who you are if you complain, but if you get a complaint, can you know who complained?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, there's no anonymous complaints. You'll know exactly who it was, which is why I hate a couple of people. Yeah. Same thing. So still standing, still serving, still grateful. Referrals mean everything. So same thing. I think that while it's not directly soliciting for brokerage services, what else would the purpose of this be? So it needs a brokerage name. So Claudia's got the realtor requirement down, right? Okay, it's her name, .realtor, that's totally fine. That's compliant with NAR. Again, who does she work for? So many places this could be. It could be right here down in the original text. It could be right above here. It could say it. No problem. Any of that would work. This is the one that keeps going around. Same thing. I feel like this is an inherent attempt to solicit for business. And as such, you would need to have a brokerage name on it. I don't even know if this is a real estate agent. This could be a lender for all I know. But again, that's the point, right? We need to know who you are. So make sure if you are sharing this that you have Realty One Group in there somewhere.
What are the consequences? $100 per post?
So the consequences are up to loss of licensing or loss of license. I mean, that's how serious they can get. Every broker is responsible for creating a tiered penalty structure. As soon as I know what that is, I'll let you know. The first one I'm going to guess is going to be a verbal warning, then it's going to be a written warning, then it's going to be something in your file, then it's going to be self-reporting to the Department of Real Estate, and then we're going to get into additional CE classes and fines and things like that, depending on what it is. Yeah. I chose these lovely folks because they are all in compliance on their websites. Some of you are not. So any of these options are totally fine. You can do the all black full logo, you can do the all white full logo, you can do the multicolored logo, but it has to be at the top of your website without the need to scroll. So however you are constructing that, I know a lot of web designers don't understand department laws. They're just designing a website and they're going to put Realty One Group all the way down to the bottom. No good. No good. And it has to be at the top of every page. So if you've got these tabs, if I click on any of these, it's going to be the same banner at the top. Okay, that's required.
You do have some independent questions.
Okay, what are the questions?
If we use the free ROG website, is it automatically updating language to make the site compliant?
There's no language that needs to be updated to make the site compliant because that has an IDX search from Armless set up, so you're good. And it has the brokerage logo exactly where it needs to be.
And how early can you take CE classes before you expire?
After you've renewed from the previous period. So you have to complete your renewal for the previous period before you can start taking new classes. So that's going to vary per person.
And do we send a certificate copy to Leah for CE?
For the love of God, please, no. I don't need or want all of your CE certs. All you need to do is save them and upload them into the Department of Real Estate website, your account. That's where you put them. I love you, no. All right, let's look at some signs. I think that some of these might surprise you. All right, so Cheryl Wood's sign. Who's her broker? But do you only know that because you know West USA is a brokerage and not Happy Cactus Homes?
Correct.
This one's probably questionable. In chatting with Mandy, she said, hey, again, we're not looking to punish agents. If it's close enough, if it's visible, it's probably okay. One thing that I think she really has going for her in this case is that's dark. And everything else is lighter. I do think that's gonna help her be compliant. Again, iffy. It is not in the rule, they tried, they failed to put into the rule that your brokerage name had to be the same size or larger than your team name or your name. That did not pass. It just says clear and prominent, which I understand there's no specific definition. So it's gonna kind of be, can we tell who it is or not? How about this one? Yeah, I think that's,
I guess that's the team, not necessarily, is that the brokerage?
no,
Okay, and then.
that's the brokerage.
So that was.
I agree. I think that was a violation. How about this one?
It's got a wheel over it.
Only
So I wouldn't call that prominent.
Oh, it is up there.
If you're driving down the street, can you tell who the brokerage is? That's usually the key. Okay, you have to be able to tell driving down the street, because how else are people seeing signs usually?
That's just a bad logo. Cause like
Yeah, it's a
that-
great
Because it doesn't look like, that looks like it was I need to add this on later.
That's probably exactly what
No matter how big it is, it doesn't look.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I think that one is maybe a sticker add-on, which is fine as long as it's compliant. So some of you may have to look at your signs. This is where things get crazy. So again, not necessarily from the department. This is coming from our legal counsel at AAR, and he gave these as specific examples. If you are out in public and you have a shirt like this one that says "This girl sells real estate," does it need your brokerage logo on there?
Yeah, I think I'm sure they're gonna say yes.
Yeah, no, it is.
Exactly.
Aaron Green, AAR legal counsel, he says it sure is. It's advertising and you need to go ahead and have your logo.
What if it's on the back, or does it have?
He didn't differentiate. I think
Your
that
whole back was actually that information you give.
you probably get that. Same for this type of shirt or this little flat type thing that she created. Any of that stuff is gonna need the brokerage.
Have like the, I don't know, real form sticker, like on here, like have broken members, like, because I know something like that.
I would argue that you're okay in a situation like that. So she's asking, hey, if you've got your like name badge on when you're wearing this shirt, would that be compliant? I think that definitely weighs in your favor. Where you have an argument that, hey, I did have it noticeable. It was just on my name badge as opposed to the shirt.
That would require.
Correct. Yeah, which yours does. Yeah. This is a broker. Okay. Who does she work for? All right, so here's a little known fact. You can use generic open house signs if they are only generic. You cannot merge a generic open house sign with a rider that does not have your brokerage on it if you are displaying your name. So you would just have generic blue and white, red and white signs up to the house. Once they get to the house, the sign in the yard needs to match, or you need to have something propped up at the door indicating who you are as the host. But you can't have this combination.
Can I not have the red open house sign with nothing else?
With nothing else, up to the front. Once it's at the front, we need a sign in the yard, or you need a sign on the door.
So I have a sign in the yard, our listing sign. And the red sign is okay?
You're fine. Yep, as long as it leads to a sign that actually shows the brokerage. They need to know before they walk through the front door who the brokerage is that's hosting the open house. That's the trick. Yep.
Somebody's asking about car magnets.
Well, your car magnets 100% needs to have the brokerage on there. So does any car wraps or anything similar? Yes. All right, so these are all, see my little thumbs up, my little gold thumbs up? These are all good. So these are different ways that you could pretty easily, I think, add the brokerage to your post. Look at me, I'm at Realty One Group. I just tagged the location. That's it, you're in compliance. You can name your team or your name at Realty One Group. You can add that to the back of it. Now, for most of these things, it's not a problem because I'm sharing my team stuff to my personal page. So you've got my name, but my team name has my name. So either way, I'm compliant. So if your name is your team name, you're fine. You don't have to worry about having something extra. If your team name is something totally different, you've got to have your personal name plus Realty One Group in there some way. You can add little stickers. Okay, I shared on the Facebook page a couple of different sticker options that you can just post to your videos or you can use as overlays on your photos. You can add text. And again, if you can add the word, screw this up, if you can add the word sold or whatever else to your images, you can add Realty One Group. Down in the corner is fine. I chose Chuck because he did a perfect one. So Disney Premier Properties, Realty One Group. He just tagged his team name right in there and then shared it on his personal page. All of these are completely compliant for advertising purposes. So you've got options. I mentioned this before, but a couple of reminders. What is not compliant? Not just the icon. Our brokerage name is not one. You have to have the full Realty One Group. Another thing that I did clarify with the department because I thought you might be able to get away with it, she says no. It can't be a hashtag. So even if you put hashtag Realty One Group at the very start, the very beginning, she said no. It has to be Realty One Group spelled out separately. You can hashtag it after the fact, but that's not compliant as far as proper advertising.
I think the car magnet question is actually specific to that realtor magnet. It just says realtor on it. I think you can get from.
Yeah, that's a problem. If it doesn't have a brokerage name, that's a problem.
If it doesn't have their name, then it's just that R.
I see what you're saying. So
it's just showing that you're a realtor. So that I think that's the question.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
say frame, just
Not
a
a frame,
realtor
like,
on
the
that.
little
Just
sticker.
realtor.
Yeah, you can just get something that says
On,
realtor
honestly,
for
guys,
less than-
I think, yeah, that's going to be a violation.
What about the little R that gates? Is that a violation?
I think it's going to be. I mean, I don't know that anybody really, but that was NAR. And just to be clear, the association and ADRE are not seeing eye to eye on a lot of things right now. So all of those little things that you have with realtor on it or the R logo or something similar, if you do not also have your brokerage name nearby, yeah, I think that that's going to be, it's the same thing that Mandy was talking about when I was chatting with her. If you're just hashtagging the word realtor, even if it has nothing to do with real estate or selling a property, if you've hashtagged realtor at the end of your post, you probably need the brokerage name on there somewhere. Yeah, that's what he's asking about. I think it's a problem. Unless you also have a name badge. Yeah, the little realtor pins or something else without a shirt or a hat or a name badge that says your name and Realty One Group. I think that could potentially be problematic. Yeah. This might be extreme, but we don't know, right? Like we're all still kind of in a trial and error phase with this. Yes.
I just, like, would say, like, if you just add Realty One Group in good year, that takes care of it all, right? But then just thinking about it, it doesn't add to your story, so you have to be careful about that.
So that's where I'm catching a lot of people. I'm like, originally it started off just fine, but yeah, then the geocoding isn't on the story. So you're going to have it potentially in two places, depending on how you're sharing. Yeah.
Is this only advertising to the public or is it any advertising?
It's really to the public. I'm trying to think of the exact code and what it references, but I'm almost positive that it actually specifies to the public. To the public in this state of Arizona with the intention, I mean, it goes into something crazy. So really it's not realtor to realtor. Yeah.
What about out of state?
I'm like, I'm hesitant to even say that because realistically, we don't want to get into that nitty gritty. I do not want to be called into investigations with the Department of Real Estate people, okay? All right, some quick market stats. I think that this is a great summary with the takeaway. 2025 wasn't a high sales volume year. Duh. We lived it. But it was a selective one led by confidence at the top of the market and supported by strength in low range segments. So we're looking forward to a 2026, but it shows you the $1 million home sales. Those were like the winners of the year, with a 14% year-over-year increase. Your 700 to 900,000 increased 6 to 8%, and then your 200,000 to 300 rose about 10%. So overall, not bad, but really, we don't care about all that, right? We care about one thing. Us. Number one in market share, and again, this is not just the Southwest Valley, this is the West Valley. West of the 101, I don't care what anybody says, Glendale is not the West Valley. You are now Central Phoenix. Number one in market share, most homes sold, the highest sales volume, and a great one to share with clients, the highest average sales price. Yes, give yourselves a round of applause. This was a rough year, but we came out winning. And what I am so excited about, because we had dropped off pretty severely, we were $30 million away from $1 billion in volume last year. 2026 is our comeback year. $1 billion, let's do it. And because we're talking about people reporting you for violations, I got Karen here, who has 5 million designations after her name. I'm wiped out. I spent all day going through the MLS and my Facebook page, reporting violations to the board and the Department of Real Estate. All right, now that I have shocked, stunned, and potentially scared the shit out of all of you, have a wonderful day.